All right, let's start adding some sides to this base here. So adding a side is just like making the first one, except that I don't want to make it on one of the pre-established planes. I want to put it on the side of my box. So I'm going to zoom into this base, and I'm going to select this side. I'm not going to click the line or the edge. I'm going to click this face. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click Sketch. I'm creating a new sketch. But this time you see my sketch plane is now located on the side of that pre-existing box. All right, I'm going to hit the N key to view this normally. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw my side. You can see I'm seeing the thin edge of that base. So let's select a rectangle tool. I'm going to go from the bottom here. Now I want this to be exactly the same length as my base. So I don't want to just put it out in space. Instead, what I can do is I can sort of hover over this edge. And that'll wake it up. And then when I move up, you can see I can now snap to that position. So I'm going to do that. All right, let's add dimensions. When I click the dimension tool, I can't add a dimension to the bottom. If I try to do that, let's say I want to make it 5 inches, it'll get mad at me. So let's undo that. It doesn't like that because that dimension is already determined by the dimension of my other piece. I snapped it to this edge, so I can't change the dimension from here. I'm going to select the dimension here for the height, which I can determine. I'm going to say this is going to be 4 inches tall. Okay. So this is my new sketch. It defines my entire side. One thing to be aware of is because I created the sketch on this surface, this line here, which is the edge of that surface, is kind of in a way part of my sketch, whether you see it or not. And I'll show you how that affects later. But I'm essentially done here. Let's click the green check mark. Okay, so I've got my sketch. You can see it's right here. I'm going to extrude. So before I clicked the face I wanted to extrude, and I selected extrude, I can do that again. I'm going to show you another way to do it. This time I'm going to click extrude first, and then where it says faces and sketch regions to extrude, when I click that, I'm now going to select my faces. So if I click this face, it'll extrude. What you'll notice is that it didn't extrude this bottom edge. And I do want it to extrude that, so I'm going to click that also. I'm going to select both of them. And now I can see I'm getting a full side here that I'll be able to glue to the side of this base. Something else that is different this time is that you can see this extrusion is this light blue color, and this base is the same light blue color. It's trying to actually add this new extrusion to my pre-existing piece. Well, that'd be great if I was 3D printing this. Because I'm going to be laser cutting it out of flat sheets, I need to make these separate pieces. So instead of add, which it wanted to do naturally, I'm going to click new. This is a new part. And you'll see now it's gray. So you can see that they're separate parts. I'm still going to extrude it blindly for 1/8 of an inch. Let me adjust that depth, 1/8 of an inch. And everything looks good. I'm going to click the green check box. So now I've got 2 pieces, 2 faces. All right, I'm going to do this again really quickly on the other side. Sketch. I'm going to select the face over here. Let me grab my rectangle tool from corner. Hover here so it snaps. To corner. I'm going to make my dimensions the same height. I'm going to make it 4 inches. Check the box. I'm going to select that face and extrude it. It's a new extrusion. I'm going to extrude it 1/8 of an inch. Oh, it missed the bottom part. So let me go ahead and select the faces to extrude and click that one as well. You can see now it wanted to switch to add because, hey, that face is connected to that one. Let me make sure I switch it back to new. This is a new extrusion. I'll click my green checkbox. There it is. I'm putting those sides on just like that. All right. I'm probably going to add a back and a top face on here, but I'll do that kind of outside the video. It's just like what we just did. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the next step.